So I first want to welcome everyone to Dr. Dees' weekly interactive Sunwriter call. And my name is Marlene Olliner, and I will be hosting the call this evening. I'm proud and honored, as Max said earlier, that Richard passed the baton on to me this week. And we just so appreciate the opportunity to share Sunwriter. And what we also appreciate, anyone that wants to jump on and give a testimony or ask any questions or share some of your experiences, because it really does help everyone that's on the call. And I just want to remind everyone that this call is being recorded. Thank you to Mac. And I just want to remind you to please press mute or *6 on your phones to eliminate any background noise. I know some of you may be eating dinner or driving, and so if you could keep yourself on mute, that really helps so everyone can hear the speakers, and also helps to have a really good recording. So then all you need to do is just press mute again or *6 again if you'd like to speak. So I am going to begin, and again, I just want to introduce myself. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Marlene Olliner, and if you've been on the calls for the past few weeks, my husband Richard has been doing some awesome calls regarding fitness and vitality, and he is such a great example of using these Sunwriter products. And Richard and I started using them well over 25 years ago, and we were actually introduced to Sunwriter by Dr. Dees, who happens to be my cousin. And we were speaking at a family event, and this is very, early on when we first started to learn about Sunwriter. And she was just sharing something with me that she said has been making a huge difference in her life. And I said, wow, I really need to hear more about this. So she explained what she could at an event. And then I went home and I shared it with Richard. And I said, we have got to look into this. This seems amazing. And because I've always been interested in the health of our family, I said, I think this sounds like it could be for us. And Richard, not knowing really what reasons he may need it, except for that I was saying, this would be great for our health. And as you heard from him, he really found so many wonderful things that have changed in his life because of Sunwriter. And one of my early stories is, I just remember starting with the products that we talk about all the time, the NBC. Those are the products that nourish, balance, and cleanse our bodies. And I think I might have been using the products, I don't know, maybe a week or so. And I remember eating them maybe 3 times a day. And I was a chocoholic, and I really loved sweets. And I used to have all kinds of cookies and candies and all that in my house. And my nieces and nephews loved to come to their auntie's house because there was always that kind of food there. But when I started using Sunwriter, something interesting started to happen. I remember looking in my refrigerator because we happened to have been, I guess, out of all the other junk food. And we used to keep a jar of chocolate tidbits in the refrigerator. So I open up the fridge and I'm looking at that jar and I'm saying, I don't know, I just don't feel like having those. I really feel like having a carrot. And so I went in the other room to tell Richard my little story, and he goes, okay, who are you and what did you do with my wife? And we kind of chuckled about that. But it was such a surprising thing that just happened to me. I said, my craving went away. And I loved the idea that somebody wasn't telling me, well, you really shouldn't eat sweets and you shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that. But that just naturally what I learned about Sunwriter's foundational products is that with that balance comes less cravings in your body. You really naturally start to want to eat foods that are just healthier for your body. So that was my first experience with Sunwriter, and I said, okay, this is awesome, this is great. And then ever since then, Richard and I have never missed a day of eating these amazing Sunwriter products. we first started, after Dr. Dees telling me about it, I wanted to learn more about the company. And I want to share just a little bit of this with you from the website I'm actually reading. If you go onto the website and it says Our Story, and it says Meet Our Founders. So Dr. Tei-Fu Chen, the founder and board of directors, he was explaining to us that Sunrider is about a fusion of tradition and innovation. And the Sunrider story is really our family story. It encompasses generations, ancient Eastern traditions, and modern Western innovation. And it begins with our founders, Tei-Fu Chen and Oilin Chen, whose passion for people led them to create proven herbal products that help others achieve optimal health and wellness, and a business that offers them the freedom to live a happier and more balanced life. While our founders started the company in Utah in 1982, their journey began decades earlier in Tei-Fu's homeland, Taiwan. Growing up, Tei-Fu was an unhealthy child, and his grandfather cared for him with timeless Chinese herbal remedies. The medicinal properties of these plants were so powerful that they ignited in Dr. Tei-Fu a lifelong passion for Chinese herbal philosophy. While studying herbal medicine and pharmacology in college, he met and married Oilin, a gifted medical student from Hong Kong. The couple paired their natural curiosity, scientific expertise, and shared entrepreneurial spirit to build a business that would change lives through natural products like those that changed Dr. Tei-Fu's life all those years ago. And this whole founding philosophy that fuels Sunrider's family business today. And this is so amazing to me because we have a family, we have experience, we have expertise, we have this whole idea of tradition and innovation. And the fact that Tei-Fu was a world-renowned herbalist with his degree in pharmacy and Oilin a medical doctor, that it just made us feel very safe also when we started to learn about the company. And then the Chen's 5 children helped guide and our global enterprise across nearly 50 countries and territories in partnership with thousands of inspiring independent business owners and franchise store owners. So what's here is about family and values at work. And they have already moved into the second generation. So we have their 5 children all taking a part in the company. And now Sunny, one of the children, is our chief executive officer now. And I just think that the expertise, the medical, the manufacturing, organic chemists, everything that this whole generation has to offer to this company also makes us feel amazingly safe. And also we can see that there is a vision, a huge vision for this company. So thank you, Dr. Chen, and we're so grateful that all of the second generation are here to also help with this company. So that's just a little bit about the company, that the way they share it as a family. And one thing I wanted to say is that when we first learned about Sunrider, what really also got me, besides the aspect that it's self-manufacturing, there's expertise, but what really intrigued me was this philosophy of regeneration that all of the Sunrider products are founded upon. And it's pretty simple. It's a complicated how our body may work, but it's a simple philosophy in that if we feed our bodies the proper combination of concentrated whole foods, then the body actually has the ability to renew, rebuild, and regenerate. And I thought, wow, someone has really understand how the body works, and that I don't have to think anymore about going to the health food stores and should I take this or should I do that, and is that going to be safe? Is it going to be good for my body? To me, this is already done for all of us, and that's through, as I mentioned, years of experience and expertise. So that's our story of what I wanted to share, why we got started and why we still stay here, because we continue to get great results, and it's really become our passion to share with other people. And I think most people feel that way. When you find something that is really making a difference in your life, well, then why would you not want to share it? We share the simplest things with people, right? You might find, a restaurant that you've gone to that you love, and you will share it with all your friends. Or maybe you found some new makeup, or maybe you just bought a new car, and you want to share that with the people that you know. And can you think of the blessing it would be in people's lives to be able to share a way that people can reach health and wellness to a higher level than they ever thought possible? So that is our passion and our mission to continue to share regarding Sunrider. And I know that some of you on this phone, whether you're new or whether you've been here for a long time, I would think shares that passion too. So for tonight's topic, I was thinking about that story I spoke about earlier when I started to use the NBC products that nourish, balance, and cleanse. What was in that pack for us, it was New Plus, it was Quinery, it was Cali at Fortune. And the idea that I was able to curb my appetite with those foundational products was pretty astounding to me. And it just brought me the idea for today that with the holidays, and I know we just finished one holiday, of course, Halloween, where there's lots of candy, and we're going to be going into the blessings of all the other holidays that will be coming up over the next 2 months. So we have Thanksgiving, we have Hanukkah, we have Christmas. And what happens at all these holidays, besides the blessings of maybe being with family, there's lots of food. So I said, this might be a good topic tonight. Let's talk about how we can, have a good relationship with food over the holidays. So the first thing I always recommend, to anyone that I share Sunrider with is those foundational products. So the first one being New Plus. And I still swear by this New Plus in terms of helping me to feel satiated and also a sense of balance and calm. And it fills in all those nutritional gaps with micronutrients. And it has bioflavonoids and antioxidants and amino acids and phytochemicals. And there's no preservatives or sugar, and we don't have to be concerned about calories with New Plus at all. And there's so many ways that you can use New Plus. If any of you were on Dr. Chen's, Ruben and Katie's call today, they were talking about New Plus and how they like to mix it with oatmeal. And it makes a really hearty breakfast. So New Plus can be used in many different ways. But one of the ways that I like to use it, besides as a breakfast or snacks, is if I know I am going to be around a lot of food, what I like to do is eat a packet of New Plus before I go or before the meal, and you will absolutely start to feel you'll feel satiated, so you won't be starving when you go to any kind of event where there's going to be a lot of food. So that is one of my go-to products for the holidays. And it's just something you can use right before you eat. So I'm going to stop there for just a minute, and then we're going to be sharing some other products. But I'm just wondering if anyone else has had that experience with New Plus, because it is one of the foundational products and so easy to use. Is there anyone on there that would like to share something about New Plus?
Hi, Marlene. This is Judy Gensler and Feeney.
Hello.
I'm here, but Sorry.
Hi, Judy. Thank you so much for jumping on. Yes.
Well,
Tell us.
I was quite as much as you in the beginning because I loved, of course, the sun pack and everything. But my friend and I, as couples, we used to go out to Mexican food restaurants for maybe a Friday night or whatever. And so we started calling each other and saying, wow, we better not eat that new plus because we won't be able to order this much.
I get that. I understand.
We got the point after a while, and I've always appreciated that ever since. I mean, either way, if I think I really want to chow down, then I don't have it. But if I am feeling hungry or I think the food won't be satisfying because there won't be enough things that I could pick from to eat, I always do the new plus. So absolutely, it works.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, but it works for your friends too. I had a friend who, when her son wouldn't eat, he only wanted cereal. But if she fed him new plus, then he would eat a meal. So it's really fascinating.
Oh, yes.
So it works whatever you need.
Oh my gosh, I totally get what you're saying. And, you know, the thing about these products, when I think about them, I always think of the balance, right? So if a person needs to gain an appetite, it helps. If you are looking to curb your appetite, it helps, right? So that whole idea of balance really works in all of these products.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yes, thank you so much, Judy. And do you have a favorite flavor of a new plus, or just like them all?
It changes during the years at different times, but mixed berry used to be my favorite, but I really like the original now because it's so convenient. I can stir it in Cali or whatever, and I just find it very soothing. So I like the original best right now.
I love that. I totally know what you're talking about because sometimes our tastes change, and what's so great about it is that, Sunrider has all these flavors. So we have the original, as you mentioned, we have the mixed berry, we have peanut banana, apple cinnamon, and simply herb, which has really become one of my favorites. Just like you're saying, for me, I find it convenient. I just eat it right out of the bag. If I feel like I want something a little sweeter, I love eating the apple cinnamon right out of the bag. And that's, gives me kind of a sweet kind of taste, and it has a little bit of a crunch to it because it has a little pieces of apple in it. So I love that. And I like that we have those choices and all the different ways that we can use this product. But it's just, I just want to read a couple of the ingredient highlights because, I know we've talked about this product so many times, but I always think it's worth repeating why this product is truly amazing for just a small little packet of whole food. So the first highlight ingredient is Chinese yam. It's also known as cinnamon vine, and Chinese yam energizes and addresses your body's organs. So we're talking about food that is going to nourish and feed all the body's organs. We have foxnut in here. This healthy seed provides protein, fiber, and antioxidants to help prevent free radicals. And I know we've heard about free radicals. Those are the things that just kind of cause havoc in our bodies. And by having antioxidants, that helps to prevent those free radicals from developing. We also have lotus fruit, this excellent source of fiber that nourishes with an optimal blend of vitamins, minerals, fiber, phytonutrients, while slowing down digestion so you feel full longer. So, yeah, I'd say that answers my question why I would get full so fast and not have as many cravings just having a packet of New Plus. So those are just some of the highlight ingredients. They are powerful. In this one packet, we are talking, again, vitamins, minerals, fiber. And even though it might not say all those words specifically on the box, this is what all those ingredients have inside them. So I always just read these things and I just say, oh my gosh, the brilliance of Dr. Chen, because there are what is it, like thousands and thousands of herbs that grow in the world, but to be able to have the brilliance to choose the right ones and how to put them together, because that's another thing that always fascinated me, is that you can look at a box, of maybe similar ingredients. If you just go to any store, vitamin store, an herbal store, but the whole thing that people might miss, it's not just about reading the ingredients. It's knowing, it's having the expertise of what ingredients to put together and how to concentrate them and how to keep the vitality in those ingredients so that it is a live whole food. I just think it's brilliant, and it's not just about reading ingredients on a box. Yes, go ahead.
Just while you're on that, just mentioning the lady that was telling me about her experience.
Yes.
You mentioned now about putting these products together. Now, my first things in the morning is the Cali and the Nucleus, but I heard either you or her mention that you can put Nucleus with the Cali.
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Absolutely. Here's the funny story I like to tell people. Well, these are food, right? And when we were younger, sometimes, if we were playing with our food, our mom would say, don't play with your food, just eat it. And we always say, play with your Sunrider food. Just mix it up. Make new combinations. Have fun with it. Because you can't do anything wrong. There is no wrong combination with the Sunrider foods. So you can mix Nuplus with Cali or with Fortune or with VitaShake or Protein Plus. It doesn't matter. It's whatever feels good for you.
Okay, now does the Nuplus, if you stir it in your Cali, should it be warm so that the Nuplus can more or less dissolve, or?
Well, so here's the thing. You can do it both ways, because you can put Nuplus in a bottle of water or milk, any kind of nut milk or anything that you want, and then you can either do it in a blender or just actually shake it up in a bottle. And you can do that room temperature or cold, or you can just add cold after that. You can make a smoothie with all kinds of fruit. You can also have it in something warm. And truthfully, I just like to have a warm drink in the morning when I get up. And even though I'm in Florida and it's hot, I just like how it feels having a warm drink in the morning. So I will definitely make Cali. Hot Cali, could be cinnamon or mint, and then I'll just mix everything in there. So whether it's Nuplus or VitaShake and Quinery, absolutely, you can do that.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. And come back next time. Tell us how you made it. What did you do? How'd you try it differently?
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Yes, you're so welcome. I just love that idea. There's no fear, right, in using Sunrider, because you can't do anything wrong. You really just can mix and play and see how you feel. And sometimes, we say, well, I don't know if that did enough for me. So you can do more. So you can always increase what you're doing as well. So that's my Nuplus story. And does anyone else have anything else that they wanted to share about Nuplus?
Marlena, it's Nina. Can you hear me?
I can, Nina. Thank you, hon. Yes, of course.
Hi.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. My husband, this is a good news story, of course, because it's Nuplus. My husband, after being married to him for just about 12 years, has finally opened his heart and his body to loving Nuplus. And he had been taking Fortune and Cali forever, but he needed to put some good stuff in. He was just taking out, and he was getting very grumpy. And I told him, you gotta take this if you want to stay together, pretty much. But he started taking it, and what a difference! The edge is Day. He can't stop taking that. He loves that. But it's just, my God. Thank you, God, and thank you, Dr. Chen.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you tell us, so first of all, can you tell us how you got him to start using it? Was it really just you said, that's it?
You know, I try to be as gentle and kind as possible, but I hinting, we're now in our upper 60s, and, you know, things have started to sometimes pop up with him, and I somehow encouraged him. If not, I just said, here, take it. I don't know what I did.
Okay. Whatever works, right?
Richard, yeah. But I just said, here, you got to start taking this. And he is now taking it on his own, asking for it. But I'm just happy about the results. Softening of the edges is just, you know, I'll stay with this guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love it. I love that story. Thank you so much, Nina. I know, and sometimes we just have to be patient with people, right? And sometimes when somebody tries one product of Sunrider and they like it and they're getting used to that, then it's easier to then introduce some other ones. So the fact that he already was using something else, I'm sure it was helpful in him being open. It just needed to be his time, right?
But you know, another thing I've got to give credit to Rich. I think he was listening to several of the calls that I was on, and I got a good feeling that he was listening, really listening. And so, thank you too for what you say, because I think he listens when it's not needy. You know.
Yes. I hear you. And listening, I think that's why we also wanted, to give Richard that chance to kind of do these calls from a man's point of view, because, mostly it's a lot of us women that are doing the calls. And I thought, there's probably a lot of men out there that really would like to hear a man's voice, or maybe just women who would like to know how to share it with a man that's in their life, whether it's a son or whoever that is. I think it's helpful for all of us to share from our own experiences, because people connect with different people, right? So I'm so glad if that was helpful. I will certainly pass that on to Richard. Thank you. Yes, I will definitely tell him. I will. Thank you so much for sharing. So I want to talk just a little bit about the other products, those 3 foundational products. Again, I'm just briefly about the Quinery. I know we've talked about that. There's 50 herbs in there, and it's just an amazing product, because where we were talking about NuPlus in nourishing the organs in the body, what it says here is that the Quinery balances the body's 5 major systems. So it is a complex, concentrated blend. It combines 5 of our most powerful formulas. It promotes overall health and wellness. And when we say that, I mean, that's really from head to toe, right? These products help our bodies from head to toe, made with natural ingredients. And of course, again, no preservatives, chemicals, or stimulants. So those 5 systems of our bodies, we know what those are. It is our circulatory system, our immune system, our digestive system, our respiratory system, and endocrine system. So, I always find that's an easy way to help balance our bodies. Whatever's going on, pretty easy just to do those foundational products. All natural again, and pretty amazing formula, as I said earlier, the brilliance of Dr. Chen, to be able to really understand how putting these 50 herbs together to balance the whole body. Anyone have anything they want to say about Quinery?
Well, this isn't specifically about Quinery, but I'm going to carry on the Mexican food theme here.
Sure.
Years ago, I was eating, Sunrider Faithful 3 times a day, NuPlus, Cali, Quinery, the Sunnydew. And we had gone out to eat Mexican food, and I didn't eat my Sunrider meal
prior and got there, was really hungry, you know, gorged on the chips. Your food comes, you really should have them just box it up and take it home, but you know, what's the fun in that?
Right.
And so when I left, I felt so miserable, like I couldn't have eaten one more chip, and I felt bloated and just really sick. Thought, oh, if I threw up, I'd feel better. So I went home, and though I was so full, I went ahead and ate my New Plus shake, and you know, I just mixed it in water, and I felt so much better so quickly. It really does balance you out. And then it hasn't been until recently that I realized that New Plus has, I believe I heard prebiotics in it. So
yes,
that probably a ton.
Right.
Too.
Yes. Oh, I love that story. You know, it's funny that you say that because having digestive issues, you know, we think of quinary, you know, like assimilate in there. And the other thing we think about is vitadophilus, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But just the New Plus itself, as you're saying, is very calming to the body. So that was a really smart decision to do that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else have anything they wanted to say?
Yes. Gail again.
Yes, hi, Gail.
Anyway, that I know the New Plus, primary, all of that, but something that additional that can focus on breast health.
Say that one more time. I couldn't hear you. On what health?
Breast.
Breast health. Well, so, you know, when we talk about Sunrider, we're always talking about balancing the whole body, right? And all the parts of the body. And when we get into separate issues, we're kind of treating things separately. But the prime, again, that is in the quinary has to do with the endocrine system. But that would be a question. I think that if you do the NBC, and you may want to do something else extra for the breast health, I would say probably maybe refer to Dr. Dees about that. I wouldn't want to recommend anything specific, but I just always know whatever is going on in the body, that NBC is definitely the best place to start.
Okay, thank you.
You are so welcome. So I just wanted to bring up that one other product I was talking about, vitadophilus, that's actually in the wellness pack that we have, because Judy was talking about her tummy after eating a lot. And I know this is an issue over the holidays, right? That we tend to maybe overeat a little bit, and we don't want to miss out on the fun, so you might overeat. But one of the things that Richard and I find really helpful also for digestion is the vitadophilus. And the vitadophilus helps to balance the microbiome, if I can pronounce that word, and boost the gut health, immunity, and metabolism. So the vitadophilus is truly, I find, amazing because it's coated in apple pectin. And the great thing about apple pectin is that when you are taking a probiotic and you are trying to digest that, and it sometimes can just get absorbed by the stomach acids, and it never gets into the colon, which is the purpose of this, is to get into our colon and a digestive tract. So again, the brilliance of Dr. Chen having the apple pectin coating there is what actually helps this probiotic to go where it needs to go. And it's really very fast acting. Richard and I, we've used it sometimes for indigestion and stomach discomforts. So this is a great product, that I think everyone should have in their holiday toolbox. So, and you can have it, I like to eat it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning and before I go to bed. And then if I need it at any other point, if I'm having any other intestinal challenges. So vitadophilus, I love the taste. I love how it works. It's an amazing product. to for everyone for all kinds of reasons. And I mean, keeping our gut healthy is really an important thing, because our gut health, it is also related to the digestion, to our brain, all kinds of things, immunity. So gut health is a wonderful, self-care product that we have here with the Vitadophilus. So anyone have anything they want to say about Vitadophilus? So this also, just as a reminder, a lot of the things that we eat sometimes can create, bloating and discomfort. So this is a great product for that as well. Okay, so one more thing I want to say right here. This is under also the Vitadophilus on the FAQs. It says, how does beneficial bacteria become depleted? So it says colonies of beneficial bacteria live inside your gut to help you properly digest food and absorb nutrients. Illness, gastrointestinal disorders, autoimmune disease, chronic alcohol use, antibiotics, laxatives, and poor diet can deplete these critical colonies, wreaking havoc on your digestive system and causing abdominal discomfort, bloating, and constipation. Vitadophilus is a convenient, effective way to naturally help build. So we're not talking just about symptoms, but we're talking about a way to build gut flora and restore digestive balance. I think this is such an important product for overall wellness. So anyone else have any other comments about that, or I'm going to move on to another product?
Marlene, I just want to say something quickly.
Sure.
I think sometimes people use it, it's great for when you do have discomfort, but if you use it on a regular basis, and perhaps first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, anytime you can use it regularly on an empty stomach, then it's amazing how you're not going to have too much discomfort even when you overeat a meal, because it starts restoring everything. So it's not something for the shelf when something's wrong. If you use it daily, you won't have the trouble that you may be having. So
thank you. Thank you for confirming that. That's what I was saying earlier, that I always do it on an empty stomach in the morning and before I go to bed, and then if I need anything extra. But that morning and evening, those are, like you were saying, about prevention, right? And so when we think of Sunrider, Sunrider really helps to build and rebuild and regenerate on a daily basis. This is not meant to be thought of as a medicine to fix something, right? Even though we have products that really can help soothe us when we're having all kinds of discomfort, it's really meant as a way to help us to build health, right? So I think that I thank you so much for sharing that, because I think that is an important thing for everyone to understand, and that goes for all of the products in addition to the Vitadophilus. So thanks again so much. So there's another product I wanted to talk about, since we were talking about how to handle the holidays and ways to maybe not overeat, or as we said, if we have any symptom, what might help. But another one of the products that I know people love is the VitaTaste. So I want to bring that product sheet up. I'll be here 1 second. And I have a great story about VitaTaste. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what is VitaTaste? It is something that helps to block sugar and carbs. It says, tempt your taste buds while managing your healthy weight. Taken before meals, our natural formula includes genema, which helps to inhibit the absorption of sugar and refined carbs. Body cleansing koi fruit helps block fat and cholesterol, while fiber-rich lotus root slows carb digestion. So it helps to support healthy weight management. As we said, it inhibits the absorption of sugar and processed carbs, rich in protective, body cleansing antioxidants, and made with natural ingredients. So my story is that when we first got VitaTaste many years ago, and we were told to do this experiment. Open one up on your tongue, let it sit there, maybe 30 seconds or so, and then swallow it, take some water, and then eat something sweet and see if you can taste it. So when we first started with Sunrider, we did have one of our in-home gatherings, and we had this couple come over, and they were very they were willing to try this experiment. And so what we do is that we'll have like a little piece of candy, and then maybe we'll have a piece of fruit, and we would let them taste the piece of candy before, so they know it's real candy, and then they put the VitaTaste on their tongue, and then we have them taste it again. And it's just unbelievable. So many people, and I did it myself, we give them a tissue or a napkin, because it's almost like you have to spit it out, because sometimes the taste is so bad. It's like all you're tasting is what almost tastes like lard in some candies, right? And so the reason we did that is to show the power of these products. And so with VitaTaste, it's not that you need to do it that way. That's really just to show how amazing the product is. You could just take a couple of capsules before you go in to eat something sweet. Maybe it's like 10 minutes or so, 10 to 30 minutes before you. So if you're going to a party and you know that you're going to be eating, there's going to be sweets and carbs, and this is just a great product also just to help your body prevent absorbing all of that. But my story is that when we had these people in our home that did that little taste, they called us maybe a half an hour or an hour later, and they were calling us from an ice cream shop. And they said, you owe us $10 for the sundaes we just bought, because we had to throw it out. We did not know it was going to last that long. So they were so impressed, and of course understood from then on the power of these products, because they really, really work. And even though some products, you might not see a result right away, and then there are some products like this that you really can see the difference almost immediately when you do a test. I'm just curious, does anyone else have any experiences with VitaTaste?
I have a question.
Sure.
For you. You said you open one cap. You put the whole cap on your tongue?
Uh-huh.
And then you take some water?
Yeah, you let it sit on your tongue for about 30 seconds or so, right? It's very herby. And so you just got to let someone, there. And we try to get people, if you can kind of move it around your mouth a little bit, so the idea is you want it to get on, your taste buds. And then you swallow water.
How much?
You just swallow enough water. It's not the amount that matters, just to kind of swish it down so that you swallow it, so that your tongue will be clean at that point.
Okay, and then can you eat the fruit?
Oh, yes. Thank you for saying that. Yes, I almost forgot that part of it. And yes, anything that is a natural sweetness, like a piece of fruit, tastes like fruit. So it's really it's the white sugars and those kinds of things that are, and the preservatives and all that would be in candy, the things that that may taste so good, but we may not want to absorb them in our bodies.
And ice cream won't be sweet.
Well, yeah, ice cream works too, because ice cream does have sugar in it. So, you mean it won't taste? Yes. Yeah, you said, I'm sorry. After you take the capsule, it will not be sweet. It will not taste good at all.
That's funny.
I encourage everyone to try that for yourself. You will be totally amazed, and it's a funny moment. It really is. It's a fun moment to do with other people. But just reminding everyone, they don't have to do it that way to get the benefit of the VitaTaste. You can just take capsules before meal. And I'm just going to read right here. It says on the, let's see, on the website, take 1 capsule 5 minutes before meals. For best results, use the Vitatase in conjunction with a balanced diet and regular exercise. And that's in terms of keeping a healthy weight. But this is just in terms of just the idea of not wanting to absorb the sugar and the carbs.
So it'll work the same way if you just swallow the capsule.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I have a funny story, actually, a couple of them.
Sure.
When my children were very young and they had gone trick-or-treating, and when they got back, I said, okay, now, I didn't want them to be going on a sugar high because I really didn't give them sugar and such. So I said, you can either have 2 pieces of candy, or you can, Mommy will open up this capsule and put it on your tongue, and you'll have to swish it around for about 30 seconds, and then you can eat all the candy that you want tonight. So I gave them a choice, and they both chose that. And you should have seen the look on their face when they were eating the candy. It was another price.
I love it.
Yeah, and then the other story is actually not mine, but I've heard where there was this man and his wife, and she was on Sunrider Big, and he was too, but it was just if she would hand him the capsules, here, take this. He never knew what he was taking. And one thing that he was never going to give up was it was Twinkies, and he took one every day for lunch. So she just started putting the Vitatase in with his capsules, just so he didn't know that he was taking capsules of Vitatase at this point. And it took a little while, slower that way, obviously. And one day he comes home and he goes, I don't know, I think they've changed the formula or something of the.
Oh my gosh.
And he didn't want to eat them anymore. And it's my understanding she never did tell him what she had done.
Oh my gosh, that is the funniest thing. I love that story. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. That is great. So this Vitatase also, besides just blocking the absorption of sugar and carbs, it's also just other great benefits because it's an antioxidant-rich koi fruit is in here. It's to cleanse the body, and fiber-rich lotus root, which slows carb digestion. So you'll recognize some of these ingredients are actually also in the New Plus. And I didn't realize that until years later that I think that was one of the reasons also that New Plus was helping me to curb my appetite for sweets. That all of a sudden sweets weren't tasting as good as they used to. But then Sunrider came out with this that gives you just an extra way of being able to get in those ingredients to help, again, curb the appetite for sweets and to block the absorption. So thank you so much. Does anyone else have anything else that they wanted to share about Vitatase? Okay.
I don't have anything about Vitatase, but
Okay.
I just wanted to know if there's anything additional I can take besides my New Plus primary count. My eyes are dull. My eyeballs, they're dull. There's no sparkle and brightness in my eyes. They look like sleepy eyes. My eyes do not brighten up. Is there anything that you have that I can take in addition to for eye health?
Well, for eye health, I don't know if Jeannie's on the phone, but Jeannie had, and maybe it's not the same kind of things that you're talking about, but she was having some eye issues. And one of the products that she added to her daily routine was the LifeStream. And let me just tell you about LifeStream, which is in the Quinery. But because the LifeStream helps with the circulatory system and it promotes balance and fluidity, that was something that really made a difference for her. And I'm just going to see, Jeannie, are you on the call by any chance? Just want to give her a minute. She might not have been able to make it on. But it really does help with eye health, the Listerine that is in the quinine, and you could just do extra of that. So that would be one suggestion. I don't know if anyone else on the call might have any other suggestions for her.
I have one.
Oh, good. Go for it.
One of my friends, we were on a Zoom together, just talking, and she's thrilled with the new Cape Pure, like I am. But she has good skin, good eyes, good everything. But others are noticing the difference, and I had to remark to her that something about her eyes had a sparkle, a different look, different openness, and just a different look. And other people are noticing that too. So I don't know exactly, but everything helps, like you said, live stream and different things. But for the actual look of the skin and around the eyes, I don't know. I think this Cape Pure may do a lot more than we think it does.
Wow. That's fantastic. And you know something, like you were saying, sometimes when people's skin starts to change and the skin looks good, you do have like an overall glow. And, that's a great suggestion. She's talking about the new Candescent Pure skincare products. So I know that's not something necessarily internal, but it definitely is, something that from the outer beauty. Another thought that I had, and I'm just going to see if I can find it, might be Vitafruit, which also helps with the skin, but it also helps with tissue. And, that might be something, and I'm sorry, I didn't get your name, who was asking about that for the eyes?
Gail.
Gail. Oh, that was Gail. Okay. It's something else that you could probably look into is have you ever had Vitafruit?
No.
Okay.
But I just ordered that new package for the skin, the whole product.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, you try that, and then you let us know if you can see see any difference with that. That would be great. Yeah, let's give that a try. I just wanted to see one thing here, the Vitafruit. So the Vitafruit, I'm gonna read just a little bit. The benefits: it's a good source of vitamins A, E, and C. It's healthy, delicious, convenient, promotes healthy, radiant skin. So that might be something you might want to just jot down on your list to try. And that comes in a vial, the liquid vial. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
And I don't know. You're welcome. I'm sorry, who's there?
Hi, this is Sandy from Phoenix, and I don't know if this would help with the issue that she's speaking about. However, I have used the stevia products, both the Sun Nectar and Sunny Dew, and used it as eye drops directly in my eyes if they're kind of, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Directly in the eye. Wow.
And that is an off-label use, and I am
right. I was going to say
this is what I do.
The FDA. We're not promoting it per se, but that's just someone's experience, and she's just sharing her experience. Wow. Now that's a new one that I haven't heard. That's
yes. And I have both of those, so I'm going to try it.
All right.
Yes.
Marlene, hi, it's Sherry.
It'll go down the road.
Yes.
Hey, Marlene, I was gonna ask if the lady, I think her name is Ruth, is she getting a good night's sleep? Does she have difficulty sleeping? Because I thought, well, if she's not getting a good sleep, maybe before she goes to bed, Cali Night might help to get her a restful sleep and also give her the nourishment that might also help.
How are you doing on your sleep, Gail?
Yes, my sleep is not the greatest, and yes, and
I think it's a good suggestion.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. That was Sherry, I think, that suggested that. Night Cali. So write that on your list. Night Cali, okay? Some Vitafruit, and then see how you make out with all that.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. So So it looks like, I can't believe our time is almost up here. And so I just wanted to kind of review for a second. We were talking about taking care of ourselves during the holidays, and I'm sure there'll be many more products we'll talk about. But just of the few we started is the foundational products of New Plus, Quinery, and Cali Fortune. And we talked about VitaTaste, that helps to block the absorption of sugar and carbs, and Vitadophilus, that helps with the gut flora. So those are a few things. And if you go to your to the website and you look up under all the categories, you'll see a category that also is called weight management, and you'll see some of the products that we talked about there, and there'll be others there as well that I'm sure we'll talk about in the future. But that's I think should get everyone getting their holiday toolbox started, and then of course we'll be talking about gifts and different ways to celebrate and feel great while we're celebrating. So I just want to let you know about the calls right after this. We have the Rising Stars call, Bob and Donna Dara. That call will be right after this. All the information is on the Rising Stars Facebook page. And then after that call will be a Sunrider call. Let me just see what that one is called. I don't have that right here, but there is a Sunrider call, I believe, after that tonight.
There is, Marlene. It's the Sunrider.
Thank you, Matt.
It's the kickoff call for the month. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific, and the link to that is on Rising Stars as well as Dr. Dees Sunrider Group. So they're both there.
Thank you for jumping in. I didn't have my notes on that, so I appreciate that so much. I knew there was one, I just didn't remember the name. So I just wanted to thank everyone tonight. Wow, such great offerings, testimonies, and I appreciate so much everyone jumping in. And I think we have so many things, right, that we can help ourselves during the holidays. And this is just, the tip of the iceberg. So, join us again and learn some more things that can help us. And, for prevention and help us to really enjoy our time. I'm sorry, someone say something? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought somebody wanted to say something. So I thank everyone again for joining in this evening. Jump on the Rising Stars call, and we'll talk to you next time. Have a fantastic week, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Marlene.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.